Tonda, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How have the last few days been for you and the squad with regards what you've been doing to try and repair some of Saturday?
A tough one on the day, and then there's only one way: shake it off and go again, and that's what we're going to do.
What have you highlighted to the players of areas that you need to improve on to get a result against Sheffield United?
I think that we need a little bit more conviction from very deep inside, because if you look at the data of the game and also of other games, I think it's very clear. But there's something fundamental to the game that comes from very deep inside, and that's what we need to put on the pitch.
That's psychologically quite a big thing. Is that something that you think is a problem for the squad, whoever the manager is?
I think that we need to look forward. It's like it doesn't bring us anywhere talking too much about the past and about what has happened. We need to look forward, and we have a big game coming up tomorrow.
I ask that because one of the perceptions in the fan base and with people like me would be that culturally there is more that needs doing than just a few bits of tinkering with the team, that somehow the squad needs to reset somehow, and that something needs to change to get the club back in the right direction. Is that overkill from me? Is that too dramatic, or is it less than that? What do you feel about the culture?
It's a big word, isn't it? It's a big word, and yes, it's abstract, exactly. And that's what I think is the important bits, is that we take all of the small pieces together, all of the small ones. And I actually heard a nice definition about culture the other day, which is the lowest standards that you're willing to accept, and I think that's a very important one.
Have you been able to lean on anyone for your own support, and how's Ben Garner added to the mix of what you're doing since he's arrived? How's that gone?
Yeah, good. Obviously he has experience in difficult moments as a manager. Many experiences that he can share, has a fresh pair of eyes, which sometimes helps when you come into a new environment, so I'm happy to have him around.
And how's the communication been from above you? Have you been given any specific targets for yourself and for the team points-wise in the next week or two? Are you feeling any more pressure from above you, from within the club?
We are in constant conversations at the moment, but that hasn't changed. It's nothing as a consequence to results. I think it's important that we have those conversations daily and constantly. And one thing is clear about for all of us, and that's not for me, we just need to make sure that we win football games again.
How much will you now target the window with regards maybe how you thought about the window 3 weeks ago? Has this window changed in its importance, or less importance, or more importance since the start of the month?
Well, the importance, I think, was always clear. The importance was always clear. Obviously, the January window was a little bit different to the one in the summer. I think what we shouldn't do is that we take any desperate decisions. So again, I think if there's something that we want to do, we just all need to be very convinced that it's the right thing for the whole group, and that is a little bit more difficult to find in January than it is in the summer. But there's still a couple of days, and I'm sure that we're going to make something happen.
And of course, I asked that in regards to the fact that Johannes said earlier in the month, or last month, that, you know, whatever happens, the club is okay. If we don't go up, the club will plan and go again. So does that mean you're not under pressure immediately, or does it mean that the ambition's still to go up, or does it mean that actually the baseline is we are building for a longer period than this, and we're not, the immediate isn't so important?
Well, the immediate is always important in football. I think no matter how long term you want to go into a project and plan ahead, yes. I think every football club depends on having results, and we know that. What we shouldn't do is, I think, that we only look short term, that we only look a week ahead. But that doesn't mean that we don't play to win football games, and we need to make sure that we get back to winning ways quickly. Again, if you look at many of the games that we have played, and I think Hull is the best example, everything in that game speaks for us winning that game but we don't at the moment. And the only way out is to dig very deep, and to go strong and put everything on the pitch.
That's the thing, isn't it? Statistics won't win games,
Yes.
but they will be a guide. And if you're saying that what you need is players in the moments to make sure they win those moments, is that what you think is the difference between success and failure over the last few weeks, I think?
Well, I think
Rather than it being about talent or tactics or anything else.
Well, I think that the statistics, if you look at all of the games, and from the first game since I've been in charge to now, we are the team that created the most in the whole league. That's a fact. And there are some games we convert, and then there are some games where we don't. I think on the other hand, also where we struggle is quite clear and quite obvious. And in the end, yes, football is not about numbers. Yes, about two numbers in the end, which are the score. But no one really cares about the statistics. Even if we have an XG of 5 and we lose a game, no one cares after. No one cares about that. But I see it as my job to make sure that we get in the situations again and again and again. And then we just need to make sure that we come up with something that we hold in our hands.
On Saturday night when we spoke after the game, I asked you about how you'd kept with the team that lost at Middlesbrough, the outfield players, even though they'd lost 4-0, and done exactly what you wanted, which was not find that deep conviction in the second half. So are you going to give players an opportunity this week, ahead of the derby and against Sheffield United, to show that they can come in and provide you with that deep depth of heart that you're looking for and conviction?
Yeah, there's going to be some changes in the starting lineup tomorrow, but it's not the reason that I refer to only what has happened now or to refer to what has happened against Borough. I think it's normal if we play 3 games a week that we need to also see that we have a certain freshness on the pitch. It's a big one for us coming up on Sunday as well. And yeah, so we will have a couple of changes in the lineup tomorrow.
Players, you make players accountable, isn't it, for their performances? Surely create competition.
But not me. I think that's the most important thing. Not me, but everyone himself. Yeah. I think it doesn't take you anywhere if I am the one who holds somebody accountable. That needs to come from inside. And we are all in the same situation, all in the same boat together. But it's not about pointing fingers. It's not about saying you or you. Like, it doesn't take us anywhere. Again, we've had some very honest conversations, and importantly, the players between themselves. And I think that's where we move forward as a group. You can moderate this, obviously, yes. And we are, as a staff, me, myself, us as a football club, some people that we bring in externally that give a view on what happens, yes. But in the end, it comes from very deep inside. And accountability is something that always starts with me for myself first, and not me for somebody else.
2 or 3 ex-players have said to me that accountability they want to see more of from the team with each other. So whilst you're saying it's not all you, it's got to come from them, and I agree with you that it's got to come from them as well. Mm-hmm. Managers are always held accountable for teams' results. Yes. But they would say that there isn't enough, they don't see enough on the pitch of the players holding each other to account when they make mistakes. You know, some players used to like it when they get angry at each other because it gets everyone. Is that the way of this team? Does it need to be more angry with each other? Or is that not the way forward because it creates division?
Well, division is also a big word. I think it creates a little bit of an edge, and I think you need this every now and then. And obviously, it is for us to promote an environment where that can happen, but in the end, it needs to come out from inside. And we are talking about this quite a bit, and it needs to be done.
Sheffield United and Chris Wilder are synonymous with each other, but also he is synonymous with the Championship. He is your archetypal Championship English manager.
Yes.
What do you think of the way he goes about his business and the way they play under him? Because they're never easy to play against.
Oh, well. They create a lot. I think together with us, one of the teams that creates the most in the Championship. Actually, when we looked at the video, it's a proper Championship side. So you see in the way that they are set up, it's proper Championship football. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows the club inside out. But we do also see some ways where we can hurt them, and we'll make sure that we come strong tomorrow.
Your team has to match them with what you're talking about. More than anything, I think they are a team that always plays with commitment and conviction. That he demands that of his players. Is that the biggest challenge tomorrow night, to match their physicality and their commitment to what they do?
Yes, the physical challenge is one that, and you see this very clearly in the games when we come on top, that we always win the physical challenge, and that we need to be on top tomorrow. And that's why we also consider bringing some fresh legs in, because it's going to be key for the game.
Thank you very much.
I think